Gentlemen, thank you very much. Here in Starkville, an early three by R.J. Melendez. Off the mark on the layup attempt on the second possession for the Bulldogs. And Texas gets it back. Mark Wiseroy Philpott. There's Jordan Pope, and that's a bucket.
Protection, probably not quite as good defensively, but no question they are a much significant improved team offensively.
Turnover by Hubbard. Here comes Johnson. And Trey Johnson rejected. And a late whistle.
He only averaged 9 minutes a game last year. Now that number is around 6 here. Will come in soon.
Loco 2 for 2 at the line.
Texas trying to play through the double team of Johnson.
Matthews, the hezzy, the finish at 7-4. Johnson off the cut. Was bang, lost the handle. Here's Hubbard. Outside to Kugel. That's a three. And a top. According to Joe Lenardi, and a chance to continue to improve that resume. Get the bye in the upcoming SEC tournament, the single bye. If they can finish strong, and Murphy does exactly that in traffic. Bulldogs with their largest lead at 8. Kaluma, left side of the lane, no. And the putback by Kent. So for Murphy, stolen by Kent.
That wasn't there.
Johnson, the deep triple. Yes. Trey Johnson, an early three. Here comes Johnson.
Numbers.
Tremont Mark baseline. Euro and the bucket. Horns back in it after the early 7-0 burst by Mississippi State. Texas answers with a 7-0 run of its own, and there's Melendez. He's had his moments in the SEC. Lead it for Johnson, a great look to Kent. Kent whips it out to Mark.
Got to be ready to shoot that. There's a moment in every offensive possession where you're going to get a good look.
Larry puts it up and in.
Mississippi State shoots 26 threes per SEC game.
Quick trigger by Tremont Mark from downtown. And the Horns out in front for the first time. Big deal for Rodney Terry and this Texas team on the bubble. Good look inside to Jones.
Texas to play without Johnson getting touches. So who can keep the
second foul on Tremont Mark? Here's Larry bottled up by Hubbard. He'll spot Kent, who lays it up and in on the reverse after missing. And Melendez with a rebound. Pryor 3 for 15 from behind the arc this year. Sean Jones Jr., that's a triple. And a lot to be determined down the stretch in the SEC. Already seen Georgia win on the road earlier tonight in Columbia at South Carolina. Pope, the elbow jumper, and he finds a way to knock it down. What is the hostage dribble? That's new.
Meaning you keep them behind you so they're not able to get involved in the play. That's danger.
First shot for Hubbard is off the mark. Jones up and in. Career game number 163 tonight, and he gets it out of the mud. And that's a great way to describe what he's meant to Mississippi State.
Roy, do you know how stupid those numbers are on that graphic in terms of shooting?
Kaluma 79% at the line this season. Kansas State transfer, time at Creighton. Important game, regardless of the outcome tonight.
It might be an elimination game.
And the loser is going to be in bad shape when you think about the resume and what has occurred in the last 2 weeks of the regular season. It's been Heartbreak Hotel for OU. They've had chances. They've come up empty. Johnson, the pump fake, makes the right decision again. Kent missed the layup. Here comes Murphy. Melendez open from the wing. And a heater for RJ. Kaluma off the heel. Kent taps it to himself. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the half.
Well, these are wide open looks that Texas is getting.
Oh.
That was sneaky good.
Murphy behind the back to Cam Matthews. Here's the leading scorer in the SEC, and he shows you why. Trey Johnson.
Does he ever get rattled offensively?
Miss the chippy.
And you got to finish that. Don't worry about getting it blocked.
Jones missed a layup on the other end.
Numbers. Yes, sir, right there.
1 point game. Trey Johnson from. Is that how they switched it? It's between 22 and 2. We know that Jordan Pope's going to shoot 2 in a game that has already seen 3 ties and 6 lead changes. Well, certainly a much better start for number 6. Multiple stops at 10:30 before that 11-8.
Now there's the double team. That's a good read out of it.
Matthews on the offensive. Great look to Kugel. And a late whistle. A foul is called.
Aldar is uncanny for a freshman.
Kind of like our halftime studio show. It's a bucket.
You're on board.
I am.
Begrudgingly, I can tell.
No, I'm fully on board. Trey Johnson off the mark. Kent active on the offensive boards in our first 20 minutes.
Yeah, State, nice job by Kent.
An 11-0 run for the Horns. Josh Hubbard in and out. And look at what we have here. A 5-point advantage for the road. Backdoor cut for Johnson outside to Mark. How about the vision and the dime drop to Tremont Mark?
That's on point so far tonight.
First.
I am not betting against it.
To Kaluma. Shedrick, no. 3 point blank opportunities, and the Horns come up empty. Matthews, a full head of steam and a layup. Matthews with 8. Lead down to 4. Tremont Mark off the hill. Kaluma tracks it down. Stop and pop, and it's good for Arthur Kaluma.
But Shedrick, though, being a force as a rim protector.
Mark up and under, and he gets it to go. So Tremont Mark has
times, and you asked me about
personalities together and that figures things out late in the year if things break correctly.
And when those transfer portal guys are hurt along the way, it makes it that much more difficult. Oh, my goodness!
They've had the target on their back the entire broom. Todd Pettiford coming off the bench. Chaney Johnson, the same.
Auburn this year has won games in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Ask Houston, Iowa State, and a host of others.
There's no question about it. I think Texas is doing to Hubbard what Georgia did to Trey Johnson on Saturday.
Hope scoops it up and in. And on the road tonight. Larry, and the pass is picked off by Harris.
No, you can't make that pass. Not at this level.
Harris to Murphy, and a full head of steam in the feet on the low block. He'll bounce out to get it. Shedrick wide open from the corner, and that's a 3. What was that about his passing ability we saw in the draft stock in the grades? Hubbard. Up and in with the runner. An emphatic no. 8-point lead for Murphy. Make it 6.
There's that short roll again.
Johnson off the screen. Connects. Trey Johnson, another 3. Jans. Had an interesting conversation with Coach Jans at shoot-around.
He was so, I want to say, almost giddy in talking about Matt.
And now it's Hubbard, top of the key. Melendez tracks it down. Hubbard again, mid-range. There it is. And they have made a living at the line.
Remember, Mississippi State only has 3 team fouls. That could come into play.
Larry's bumped out of bounds and a blocking foul. Mark picked up by Matthews, the 16-footer, and he drains it. A couple of years at Houston, 1 in Fayetteville, and now in Austin. Nwoko to Matthews. It. Mid-range again from the elbow. What a season they've had.
They have been so good in the mid-range.
Trey Johnson contested three, and he drains it.
Defense and just better offense.
Johnson with 19. He does not want to come out of this basketball game.
That was a play designed for Hubbard, but it wasn't there. If it's not there, don't throw it. Watch out.
Kugel right on top of Trey Johnson. Shedrick to Mark, the rotation, and the finish.
I relate that to all the different injuries he's had to deal with. So he's never gotten into a consistent flow this year. Double figures for the 12th time.
It literally touched every inch of the back of the rim before falling out. 10-second violation. Well, the crowd let you know at that time.
Yes, they did.
Particular. Joe Lenardi has Texas, and it was a pass. It looked like a pass from our vantage point.
Correct ball. I would assume State will go down the floor. There are too many possessions left to go in this game to start thinking about milking the shot.
Hubbard being chased around baseline, finally springs free. Picked up by Kaluma. Step back three. Drains it! Big time shot for Josh Hubbard. Melendez nearly lost it. Picked up by Mark. The shot clock already down to 10. Kugel, Murphy. The lead is down to 2 in the first half when it was 32-31. Here's Matthews, the handoff to Hubbard, and an offensive foul. Matthews called for the illegal screen. Getting late. Mark has it. Bulldogs will play it out. 10 to shoot. Tremont Mark the pump fake. And the finish, a big-time bucket. Hubbard tripped up, and Larry commits the foul. 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think Larry's feet kind of...
He throws for Josh Hubbard, 14 second half points. Now 8 of 9 with a timeout remaining.
I'm going to deny if he makes this. Double team maybe once and then foul. It would be the bonus.
Up by Melendez and a steal. Inside the Kugel. Off the glass and we're tied. My goodness. Here come the horns. 5 seconds to go. Mark for three. No. Overtime in Starkville.
He was going bottom half of your screen. There's open space to the corner.
Texas had this game in hand, it felt like the entire half. And then chaos ensues. Pope contested mid-range, and the long two drops. Johnson spots Mark, that's a three, and it drops. And Tremont Mark now with a team-high 22. Good look inside, and the layup Melendez. 1-1 for Johnson. Arthur Kaluma, about what just transpired there. What a game. In the SEC again, Murphy lost it, gets it back, up and in. Possession game, halfway home, and overtime number 1. Johnson for the lead, drains it.
I love the down screen, the pinner.
And Kugel taps it to Matthews somehow, dumps it down. Full court pressure again, implored by Mississippi State.
Very lucky there. Two guys went to the same spot. Spacing was not very good by Texas. Another look. Don Daly's right down there.
The previous play is under review.
Otherwise, that's a violation. Johnson, the runner, in and out, and the stop by Shedrick. Has it, a minute to play. Lays it in. 82-79. A hack of Shedrick, if you will.
There's the double team.
Matthews saved by Hubbard, but right to Pope. Oh, nearly 80% on this season. Missed it. Riley Kugel, the Euro, off glass. How about three the hard way? Kugel does exactly that.
I love the fact that Mississippi State is keeping the pressure on defensively.
Pope saves it. Shedrick loses it. Both teams on the deck, and let's see in the double bonus. Clutch. 1 for 2. 2.5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Kugel rejected out of bounds. And a foul was called.
Action by Hubbard created the driving lanes. That's a good call. Takes your foul as a big guy where you're supposed to, as a rim protector.
Riley Kugel tonight, 12 points. 5. Missed them both. Mark a rebound. And quickly fouled. Brilliant performance from the floor. He's got 22. Or make it still a one-possession affair.
You do not have to force a three here. There's enough.
The first touch. Melendez on Mark. Blocked by Mark. He'll tap it to himself, but out of bounds in the process.
They were trying to use Hubbard as a decoy.
Hubbard gets it. The switch and the three. Hubbard in and out. Kaluma controls. Kugel called for the foul. 5 at the line tonight, almost 80% on the season. Makes the first.
Texas, after emotionally being deflated at the end of regulation, has kind of found a new groove in overtime.
He's back to Hubbard. Bulldogs got to go. Hubbard for 3. Kent has it, and Texas finds a way in overtime in a game it had to win. The Horns do exactly that. 87-82 the final. And what a roller coaster ride tonight was.